All right. Well, Mr. Weiss and I will guide you through the first points in connection with the event management. And when it comes to topic 5, Mr. Priestman will take over as an expert relating to protection and hygiene measures at the exhibition center. Well, FACHPACK is taking place, and in 2 weeks from today, we will already be celebrating the last day of the trade fair. We have now closed the registration for exhibitors and would like to explicitly thank the 782 exhibitors at FACHPACK. The exhibitor proportion here is 60% national and 40% of our exhibitors are from abroad. In relation to the exhibition areas, packaging and technology, the exhibitors are distributed with 399 companies in the area of packaging and 316 in the area of technology, just for your information. Well, to preface the question about the visitors, we're registering great interest in FACHPACK 2021. Several thousands of visitors have already registered and purchased a ticket for FACHPACK or MyFACHPACK. The ticket is valid for on-site and online, as you know, and new visitors are signing up every day, well, at least even every hour. So it's very difficult for us to predict how high the number of visitors on-site and digital will actually be. We know from our surveys from previous years before Corona that just under half of the visitors only decide to visit in the 14 days before the start of the trade fair, and 21% even only 7 days before. And this year, the decision could be made at even shorter notice due to the pandemic situation. We therefore ask for your understanding that we cannot forecast visitor numbers this year. However, we are very optimistic that FACHPACK 2021 will be successful. Requirement and challenge at the same time this year is our ticketing, where we would like to guide you and our visitors in the best possible way. And therefore, I would like to hand over to Daniel.
Good afternoon from my side as well. There are 3 different types of tickets or passes. For you as an exhibitor, the exhibitor passes are relevant. All exhibitor passes are free of charge this year, even if you require additional passes. Registration and management of your quota is done in advance online via the ticket center. Each registered pass generates access to the digital extension MyFACHPACK. Please note that you cannot purchase exhibitor passes on site. Exhibitor passes are valid during the duration of the fair and also during assembling and dismantling time. The assembly and dismantling passes are relevant for your stand builders, your forwarding agents, etc. The assembly and dismantling passes are also free of charge. You must also register the assembly and dismantling passes in advance online in the ticket center. Persons arriving at the exhibition grounds without passes must register on site. This may lead to waiting times. Please note, if you have an exhibitor pass, you do not need have a separate assembly and dismantling pass. For assistance with the ticket center, please see our video tutorials, which explain step by step how to register the passes. Alternatively, our ticket center help desk is available to you under the contact details given here before and during the fair. Please note that all passes must be personalized with an own email address. The 3rd ticket type is relevant for your visitors. Each exhibitor has a personal voucher code. This consists of the letter A and a 6-digit number. This code was sent to you in mailings, among others in our last-minute mailing from the beginning of September. You can use this voucher code to invite your visitors to FACHPACK free of charge. As an exhibitor, you will not be charged anything extra, no matter how many of your customers redeem your voucher code. The voucher code can be redeemed 9,999 times. For each redemption, your customers will receive a 3-day permanent ticket for FACHPACK. This permanent ticket also entitles them to access the digital extension My FACHPACK. In your voucher monitoring, you can see who has already registered with your voucher code. As a recommendation, use and spread your personal voucher code generously, as the voucher code is free of charge for you as an exhibitor and also for the invited visitor. You're welcome to publish the voucher code in your email signature or on your website or in your social media channels. In this way, you may also generate new customers that you did not previously have in your database. My FACHPACK has already been mentioned several times in the slides. My colleague Philip Blass will explain the details.
Thanks, Daniel. At the risk that you already can't hear it anymore, we would currently like to draw your attention once again to the digital extension of FACHPACK called My FACHPACK, as since the 15th of September, thousands of our registered visitors get also access to the digital extensions. That means for you that please register yourself as employee of your company, so-called onboarding, and each exhibitor badge is your access to My FACHPACK. Also, please take care and maintain your exhibitor profile and products. This is kind of your business card of your company at FACHPACK. Use new possibilities in the trade fair preparation. So as My FACHPACK is valid 14 days previous to the exhibition, you can now check the matchmaking, operate the free text search, who else is there, place contact and appointment requests, arrange your personal program or what else. Be also accessible on site. Therefore, we recommend to download the Android or iPhone app of the provider Talk, and to be always informed about appointments or contact requests which are coming in via push notifications. You can arrange and accept video calls on the go, or you'll also be able to watch live streams of the social program of our program partners in Packbox, TechBox, or the Innovation Box. If needed, please do not hesitate to contact our help desk or take a look at the video tutorials, which are stated on the FACHPACK homepage, as you can see here at the bottom. Well, enough about online. What else is there to consider at the trade show at the exhibition ground?
Yes, one important location is the so-called service point. The service point is located between halls 5 and 6 on the upper floor. This is your central point of contact for all services on the exhibition grounds during the assembly, dismantling, and the entire duration of the fair. Here you will find the service buddies team, the messe store, our stand construction, and furniture companies. Further, we sent you the last-minute information. At the beginning of September, you received our last-minute mailing. In it, you will find all the important information about your participation in the fair, such as exhibitor delivery, parking regulations, loading yard regulations, assembly and dismantling times, and much more. Please also pass on this information to your stand personnel, your stand constructor, and your forwarding agents and to all persons who are involved in assembling, dismantling, and manning your stand. My colleague Heinz Priesmann will now give you details on the hygiene measures on site.
Thank you, Daniel, and thank you, Philip. I would also like to welcome you to the webinar and thank you for your interest. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Heinz Priesmann. I'm head of the Service Operations and Security Department, and therefore I am also responsible for implementing the Corona hygiene concept within the company. I would like to briefly now introduce our hygiene concept to you for the Nuremberg Exhibition Center and inform you about our activities, which we have coordinated with our health department here in Nuremberg called Gesundheitsamt in order to ensure that trade fairs and exhibitions are held safely here and above all with a positive experience for you and your customers even under Corona conditions. Well, this week, a new hygiene concept was approved by the Ministry of Economic Affairs in Bavaria, and we are very glad for this new hygiene concept because it allows us more. In the new concept, there are no more FFP2 masks, and also a possibility was created to remove the masks in the consolation. But more about that just a few slides later. First of all, we give information about the access to our halls and to our fairs. We have guidelines that the 3G access concept is for all visitors here on site in Nuremberg. 3G, everyone knows what it means. It means geimpft, getestet, genesen, vaccinated, tested, and recovered here for all our visitors. The visitors make sure that they are one of these three states in their ticketing or at least in a clearing lane on site. Therefore, we have a perfect crowd management prepared, and therefore we will be able in just a few minutes to clear the status of all our visitors. One of our most important measures is keeping the distance. Keeping the distance, 1.5 meters from other people is recommended, and that's the measure 1.5 meter distance as you know it in the public zones or in the shopping zones or anywhere. We have therefore created waiting areas, community areas in the halls to allow it to keep this distance. If there are some crowds anywhere, we try to invite here that the people come in these waiting areas to make more space. Crowd management by Eugene's Kites were measured by us here and were coordinated by the security management here, and therefore you will find hygiene scouts over the complete area in Nuremberg. The other very important point is the hygiene measures. We have increased our cleaning and disinfection measures, especially in the critical areas like the toilets, bathrooms, and additional. Therefore, we have disinfection facilities on the area. And last but not least, we have optimized our ventilation, our technical ventilation. The air exchange rate in our big halls are 6 to 10 times per hour. You will get completely a refreshing air here in the halls. Therefore, approx every 10 minutes, you will get a new, clean, fresh air in your area. Well, let's go to the next slide. Okay. we inform you about possible changes proactively, because the situation is not so stable, is valued approximately, and therefore if we get new, I hope positive informations, then we will tell it to you on our websites. What do we do for medical care? The entrance is only possible for healthy people, and a medical staff is here on site. It's from the Bavarian Red Cross. These are professionals. They will take care about all these medical situations here on site. These are profis, and we have a good experience with them. Another point is the contactless payment on site. We have at the gardrops and also in the parking lots and everywhere, we have the possibility to make a contactless payment also in our restaurants, and therefore this is a good measure also. Well, let's talk about the masks. The masks are obligation indoor. No more longer FFP2 masks, now at least medical masks for professionals and for guests, for visitors, but everyone must wear a medical mask indoor. But we have also a possibility to remove the masks. The mask can be removed. This is new since this week. The mask can be removed at the table if the minimum distance of 1.5 meters is maintained. Therefore, it gives you the possibility to make your talks, your business talks, when you keep the distance of 1.5 meter without any masks, and this must also not documented. Therefore, it's a very good situation for us. Additional measures on the site. Informing all trade fair participants about necessary hygiene measures. You will find it on the screens, you will find it on the walls, you find it on roll-ups, and everywhere where you don't have to search it, you will find it. And therefore we can communicate our measures, and we hope really that everyone will keep these measures at least. Well, the tickets, Philip and Daniel have already talked about the tickets, and therefore this is mandatory contact data collection of all visitors and professionals. We have to do this because if the authorities need the contacts, because in case of a corona effect, then we have to give these informations to the authorities. The tickets are only bookable online, and therefore that's another point of making this show more sure, more safe. Okay. At least the health of our professionals is close to our hearts. We want that you get a healthy bag from our FACHPACK here in Nuremberg, and therefore full application of the current SARS-CoV-2 occupational health and safety regulations are recommended. You will find it here in the link. It's written on the authority BMAS. It's our healthy employment ministry of the Federal Republic. Entrepreneurs design their occupational healthy and safety measures for their personnel on the basis of the nationality applicable occupational health and safety measures. No 3G obligation is for professionals, and therefore you can keep it as you see the needs for your company and for your employees. You can also do this 3Gs for your staff, but it's not obligation from the law. Contact data collection of professionals through digital registration of exhibitors passes and our service ticketing portal. Exhibitor passes as usual via the ticket center, and a registration app, STP called, for service providers, especially forwarding agents, etc. Assembly and dismantling, the SARS-CoV-2 occupational health and safety standard for professionals are also here applies at the situation of assembly and dismantling. And therefore we have also collect the data of the persons which are in the assembly and the dismantling. Well, let's talk about booth catering. It's it's a theme in the light of Corona. We have two situations which we divide from each other. We have a general office situation with coffee, tea, soft drinks, water, maybe a beer also, meeting cookies. There are no additional contact data collections required. The masks are worn or can be removed if the minimum distance of 1.5 meters is observed, and nothing more is necessary. If you serve meals to your guests, to your visitors, then we have the situation of booth catering, serving foods and sandwiches, cakes, salads, snacks, etc. Then the mask can also be removed, but you have observed the gastro regulations, and therefore you need contact data capture if you do this here. That is the law here in Bavaria, that it is necessary to capture these contact data. Please refrain from self-service offerings at booth catering. Food and beverages should only be served by service staff behind glass or acrylic glasses, or by serving at the seat. Dishes, cutlery, napkins, etc. should also be handed out by service personnel. You can also use your staff company. Here, it's not necessary that it's especially serving personnel from gastro. Okay, current general conditions are currently still being clarified.
That's just a very dynamic situation, so-called, and we are through our presentation. We already had the chance to answer the first questions, but please feel free to ask them now, and we're going to answer them in the plenum.
Yes, there are two questions at the moment. The first is, I have a question about this topic of the food. As exhibitor, are we allowed to serve food and drink at our booth to our visitors? Yes, you can offer them food and drinks by yourself. You do not need a caterer from us or from yours. You can do it by yourself. The next question is, which temperature will be in hall 7 from your climate system? Do we have approximated temperature, I would say, so that it's okay for everyone?
I think the default setting is by 21 degrees Celsius. That's the default.
Okay, so then I will go to the next question. Yes, I think we already answered it. In a general office situation where we offer coffee, do we need to have split the meeting participants with, it should be written a glass, not class, glass.
Well, you do not have to separate them, but it would be a good idea to separate your restaurant situation from your consulting situation, so that there are no misunderstandings and where to follow-up contacts and where not.
Additional here in this office situation, it's not absolute necessary to split the meeting participants with glass to differentiate them. It's recommended, you can do it, but if you keep the distance of 1.5 meters, everything is okay.
And you're not, you do not have to wear the masks if you keep the distance. I see in the Q&A concerning the degrees, can you make 20? So I think we have to regulate that, because in the machinery halls, they're much more temperature generated, and so sometimes it takes some hours to find the right temperature. But yeah, thanks for your feeling temperature to share with us.
But let us know if the temperature is too high or too low. We have to know it, and then we can check it, and then we can
adjust.
Adjust it. Okay.
Another question is, when can we enter the exhibition in the morning as exhibitor? This is possible from 7 in the morning. You can enter the venue. Another question is, how long does it take to reach the fair from the city center by public transport? I think we can say approximated 20-25 minutes.
Oh, we're much faster. I think from the main railway station, it's
okay.
It's 8 minutes by the subway, and yeah, depending on where you are located. So yeah. So you're free to book your hotels where hotels are still free, to be honest. If it's in the city center or nearby the exhibition ground, I think both is fine.
Next question is, do we have to register the truck driver from of Schenker with an assembling and dismantling pass? Yes, please. Please register all of your staff who will arrive at the fair.
Well, maybe we have to separate this. If it's a service partner from our side, they are already registered. And if it's a service partner who's coming with you, they have to be registered at the gate.
But we also have the possibility to register lorry drivers, truck drivers, such by service ticketing portal. It takes you 50 or 60 seconds to register on the door, and then you can also come in.
Great.
The next question is, how loud can we be on the booth for video and audio presentation? I can answer this. The maximum volume is 70 decibel on your stand space. It is also written in the technical regulations. And another question is, yes, of course, this webinar will be recorded, and we will send you the link to the recording in the next few days by email.
As well as the link to the updated hygiene concept, if applicable.
Okay, so I search if there are another questions.
I've got another one. Can we download our stuff in the fair exhibition on Sunday evening, on the 26th? Do we find support for unloading also on Sunday? Yes, Sunday is already assembly, and you will find assistance and the possibility to assemble the whole day and night. So it's from 12 to 20, from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Yes, another question is to set up the booth on 27th. When can we enter? Is the last assembly day, so entering is possible not later than 8 o'clock in the evening, but before you can enter when you want.
But please keep in mind that at the last day of assembly, there is much more traffic on site in the loading base than it is 1 or 2 days before. So please keep that in mind.
Does a TNT delivery person also need to have a pass? I think we already mentioned this. Yes, Mr. Priestman.
Yeah, here can we also offer the service ticketing portal if any delivery person comes just in time, it takes the STP and is registered.
Another question is, will there be paid staff available for assistance on the day of assembly? Yes, this is possible. It is also possible to order stuff in our online exhibitor shop, or we can also send you the contact details from our service partner to connect you.
Another question is if there is Wi-Fi available on the exhibition ground, and there is free Wi-Fi for our visitors, for you as well. But if you need a faster one or a secured entry, then you can pay for voucher codes. Please come to the service point to get voucher codes for your use.
I think there are no new questions, and if we should lost questions, we will also save these Q&A list and will answer your questions after the webinar. So we will try to answer it after the webinar if we forgot something now.
Okay, just one more question arise. Does TNT or UPS delivery person also needs to have a pass? No, they are free of registering. They can go straight into, isn't it? I thought German parcel service and
we have the additional STP service ticketing portal, and therefore everyone which comes in the show during the showing running time, we check and we register them.
Okay.
It's costs you 45 seconds, and it's okay.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Good to have the expert on board.
Do my best.
Well, if there are no more questions for the moment, we would like to thank you very much for being here with us. We're totally looking forward to FACHPACK in about 12 days. And if you have any more questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. We will be happy to assist. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for your attention.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.